welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you follow the world of elite cars, you know speed has basically been a religion for decades. And, well, Bugatti. They were the high priests. We're diving deep into a whole stack of material today, and honestly, it details one of the most fundamental, maybe even shocking upsets in modern engineering history.
It really is something. We're talking about changing of the guard, potentially.
Yeah, exactly. The stage was set, ages ago by the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus.
Yeah.
That machine, that was the gold standard. Set the bar at 490 kilometers per hour back in 2019.
And it wasn't just speed, was it? It was a symbol. European engineering, peak luxury, immense wealth, all wrapped up in one car.
Absolutely. But the data we've been digging into, it tells this really dramatic news story. There's a sleek electric challenger, the U9 Extreme. And this thing hasn't just nudged the record, it's smashed it. And it's done it with a power delivery and maybe a cost that makes you rethink everything about performance. So our mission today, let's unpack the numbers, get into the company behind this upset, and connect the dots for you, the listener, about what this massive shift really means for the whole car world.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how fast prestige is getting separated from, let's say, traditional design. For, over a century, the hypercar was all about that complex combustion engine.
Right, the roar, the mechanics.
Exactly. Now, the new definition, it seems to be pure, silent, well, maybe not silent, but massive instant power. And that power is coming from somewhere totally unexpected. A non-traditional source.
So a real paradigm shift, driven by scale.
I think that's a good way to put it, yeah. Scale is key.
Okay, so let's unpack this challenger then. The U9 Extreme. The documents we have use words that seem chosen to contrast it with the old guard, the gasoline giants. Words like agile, elegant, thin, even polite.
Polite. Interesting description for a record breaker.
Right. And electric masterpiece. It sounds like a completely different philosophy driving the speed.
It absolutely is. And
you
have to look at who built it. BYD, that stands for Build Your Dreams. They're a Chinese manufacturing giant, already huge in the global EV space.
Okay, so not some tiny boutique startup.
Not at all. This is crucial. BYD is massive. They compete head-to-head with Tesla and actually surpass them in overall sales and revenue last year. They're bringing serious industrial might to the absolute peak of car performance.
And that's scale. That's the first hint of why this is such a big deal.
Precisely. It changes the economics, the possibilities.
So let's talk numbers. The performance data. It's not just a tiny win, is it? The U9 Extreme hit a verified top speed of 496.22 kilometers per hour.
496.22. Yeah. That's definitively faster than the Bugatti, no question. They didn't just meet the bar, they jumped right over it.
But, okay, straight line speed is one thing. You could argue it's just a dragster.
You could, but the analysis shows otherwise. If this was just some concept car built for one speed run, yeah, interesting story, but maybe limited. But it's not. The sources confirm it's a full performance vehicle. Look at the track capability. The U9 clocked an exceptional lap time, just 6 minutes and 59 seconds on a demanding track.
Wow. 6.59. That puts it right up there with serious purpose-built track cars, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It proves this machine can handle corners, it can deliver that performance consistently, lap after lap. It's not just about flooring it in a straight line.
And this is where the electric power really comes into its own. I guess it runs purely on electricity, right? 4 independent high-performance electric motors.
That's right, one for each wheel. And the total output, the detailed analysis calls it colossal. 3,000 horsepower.
3,000 horsepower.
3,000. Just think about that number for a second. I mean, that kind of output used to be purely theoretical, maybe for specialized drag racers, certainly not road legal hypercars.
And with electric, it's instant.
Instant torque. Available immediately, which leads to acceleration figures that are frankly kind of disturbing. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in less than 2 seconds.
Under 2 seconds. Good grief.
And that precise control you get from 4 independent motors, that's how they manage that insane power. It's not just brute force, it's controlled force, which is key for that lap time too.
Okay, now, if you're a fan of, the European legends, the Bugatti legacy, maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe it was a fluke. Perfect conditions. Special driver.
That's the natural skepticism, isn't it?
Yep.
But this next part, what the sources call the paradox of proof, kind of removes that doubt.
Right. This validates the machine itself. We know the record was set on that huge German test track, Papenburg, big enough for these crazy speeds.
Visible from space, apparently.
Yeah.
But the killer detail, the critical link, is the human element, the driver.
Ah, yes. The driver who set the U9 Extreme record. It was the same German athlete, Mark Bassing. the guy known for GT racing and hypercar testing.
The very same guy. And here's the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who previously set the record for Bugatti in the Chiron.
Wait, seriously, the same driver broke his own record, but in the Chinese car?
Exactly. That's a critical detail. You use the same highly skilled pro on a comparable top-tier track, you effectively eliminate the driver's skill variable.
So it boils down to the car.
It tells the world, pretty unequivocally, that the machine, the BYD U9, is, technologically speaking, superior in this test. It's almost the ultimate professional statement, isn't it? The same driver proving the Challenger is faster.
That is quite something. And this must be where that shockwave hits the global car community. The reports capture this feeling, right? This almost disbelief.
Yeah, disbelief that a vehicle made outside the traditional hubs, literally stamped made in China, has conquered the pinnacle of European automotive engineering achievement.
It forces a massive rethink. For decades, the story of speed, of prestige, of ultimate engineering, it was all tied to Germany, Italy, France.
That narrative is being challenged, maybe even broken. This signals that the cutting edge, the real ingenuity, might have shifted. It's prioritizing scalable electric power over that very unique, very complex, and let's be honest, incredibly expensive combustion engine expertise the West built its reputation on.
Which brings us perfectly to maybe the biggest shock in this whole deep dive. Because if the speed is undeniable, we have to talk about the cost.
Yes.
The money.
I mean, I'm incredibly skeptical. A car with 3,000 horsepower, world record track times. Surely that has to be another multi-million-dollar plaything, right? Bugatti sells history, exclusivity. Doesn't the U9 have to compete there?
Well, that is the logical assumption based on, the last 50 years of hypercar economics. But this is where the reports detail what you could call the financial shockwave. And it just blows up every assumption about what peak performance should cost.
Okay, lay it on us. Let's start with the benchmark. The Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus. Price tag.
$5.5 million US dollars.
Huh?
$5,500,000 for the privilege of owning what was the fastest car, plus all that history and scarcity. Okay, $5.5 million. Got it. Now, the U9 Extreme. What are we looking at?
So we need to be super clear here. BYD hasn't released an official final sticker price. Okay? This is important.
Understood. But
based on the components, BYD's known manufacturing scale and efficiency, specialized auto analysts, people who really dig into this stuff, they anticipate the starting price could land somewhere around $35,000.
Wait, did you say 35,000? As in 35000, not million?
35,000 US dollars. That's the estimate floating around in serious analysis.
Also, okay, the scale of that difference is staggering. The engineering is better, the speed is better, and the estimated cost is, well, it's not even in the same universe.
It completely demolishes the idea that top-tier record-breaking performance must be locked behind an astronomical price.
Let's just do the math quickly. If that $35,000 estimate is even close to accurate, for the price of one Bugatti, you could buy, what is that? Roughly 157 of these U9 Extremes.
Around that number, yeah. 157.
That just reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? The Bugatti starts to look less like the peak of engineering and more like, I don't know, a massively expensive piece of history. A collectible.
And this loops back perfectly to BYD's industrial scale we talked about earlier. Bugatti's price. It's tied to bespoke, hand-built processes, that incredibly complex W16 engine, and deliberate, extreme scarcity.
Right.
The U9's performance. It's tied to electric motors and battery technology that directly benefits from massive, rapidly improving, high-volume EV manufacturing happening in China. The core tech itself is becoming, dare I say, democratized, even if this first application is at the absolute extreme end.
Okay, but hold on. There has to be a catch. I know people listening are already thinking about how to get one for $35K.
Yes, the catch. And it's a big one. Despite that potential accessible price point, the analysis confirms it. Only 30 units of the U9 Extreme exist.
That's it.
That's it. So why only 30? Well, it could be a technical test bed, pushing the limits. Could be a very high-profile marketing exercise. Maybe a homologation special just to prove the point about their underlying tech. We don't know for sure.
But even if they never sell another one.
Exactly. The technological proof point stands. The huge breakthrough is that the architecture capable of 3,000 horsepower and world record speeds now exists outside that traditional multi-million-dollar hypercar framework. That's the fundamental shift.
So, okay, let's synthesize this whole deep dive. This is way more than just a new number on a speed chart. The U9 Extreme basically confirms that electric power isn't just about efficiency anymore. It's the path to absolute record-smashing performance metrics that were, frankly, just out of reach before.
And it marks a seismic shift in manufacturing prestige, too. The crown for ultimate innovation seems to be moving away from the established European giants who relied heavily on their combustion engine heritage.
And moving towards Asian electric innovation, driven by scale, efficiency, and just aggressive R&D investment.
Precisely.
You know, this whole conversation just hammers home how fast these tech cycles are turning. 6 years ago, 490 kilometers per hour felt like the absolute limit of engineering. Today, that record's broken by a car that, based on these compelling estimates, might cost 157 times less.
If you're a major performance automaker anywhere else in the world, that should genuinely scare you.
It really should. Which leaves us with our final provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over. Given that the U9 Extreme proved that 3,000 horsepower and record-breaking speed is possible at a potential starting price around $35,000, what happens when that kind of tech inevitably trickles down?
Good question.
We're not even talking hypercars anymore, then. Think about mass-market electric vehicles, high-volume cars. How can traditional performance metrics, traditional performance brands even, survive that kind of power potential coupled with that potential price disparity? What does fast even mean in that electric future?
That is something we're thinking about. The whole landscape could change again.